Create good content consistently and the world will pay you back. It's that simple. However, what content do you create? Where should you put this content? And how do you actually start getting paid for this content? In this video, I'll tell you how I started making money on the internet and how I would do it now if I had to start all over again from scratch. The first question is, what content do you make? I read a good newsletter, I think it was from Ali Abdaal, and it said something like, what are you good at that other people aren't as good at? And I kind of expanded that and asked myself 3 questions before I started doing anything. And the questions I asked were, what am I known for? What do I find easy that most people find hard? And what is my advantage, my unique insight? The next thing I did is I came up with 5 answers for each of those questions. And then I narrowed it down to a final 3. So from those 15 answers, I narrowed it down to kind of 3 things. And then I also asked myself a couple other questions. What do I find fun to do? What would I want to learn about from me? What kind of stuff would I click on the internet? I came to the answer of studying and medicine. Medicine was my unique advantage, and I wanted to niche it up as much as possible. So I began talking about this application called Anki, which is a special flashcard application around medical school and studying and stuff like that. This was a content gap I found on the internet. I was looking for certain things on YouTube, certain videos on YouTube on how to set up this application, how to properly use this application for med school, and I just felt like the guides weren't there. So I decided to fill that in myself. And finally, would I click on that content? Would it be something that I would click on, whether it be a YouTube thumbnail or an internet post? Would it be something that I click on? Another thing that when I first started making my content, I realized that I wanted this to be kind of a long-term thing. I didn't want to be a flash in the pan. The whole point of this video is not about making a quick buck. If you want to do that, you could start a lemonade stand, drop shipping, or Tal Lopez's most recent course, which I'm sure will work out fantastic for you.
Here in my garage.
There will be much more value to yourself and the internet if you do something more real, something you care about, something that you find fun doing. I want to make it abundantly clear, however, that you will not be making money from this content, whatever you're creating, for a long time. There are millions of people trying to cash in on the internet. I think this is another Ali Abdaalism. That's a thing I'm quoting from Ali Abdaal. You have to provide value for a long time and expect nothing in return for a long time. So go back to those questions I said before, pick something that you care about and start creating content, and start creating content consistently. The next thing is, where do you put your content? I initially decided to do YouTube, a website, and a newsletter. And those are kind of the 3 most consistent and important things that I've done so far since then as well. I also made like a Facebook page, an Instagram, and a Twitter, but I don't really keep up with those as much because I don't feel it provides value as kind of these other places that I put this content. But okay, if I was starting from the beginning, which one of those things would I do? Well, I would either do YouTube or a website. Google is the biggest search engine in the world, but YouTube is the 2nd biggest search engine in the world. So what I decided to do is I'm gonna write up a script or like an outline for a video post as a website post, and that way I'll just use my website post as kind of an outline for the script for when I'm filming these YouTube videos. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I have a website post called How to Make Money on the Internet, and I'm using it, reading it right now to kind of record this video. If you want to get super fancy, I guess you can start putting your content on Twitter and Instagram, and I would actually do this more if I had the time or bandwidth to actually do this, but I just don't. I would probably like to do like an Instagram post every week and maybe like a tweet storm like once a month. So yeah, if I was starting again, I would put my content either on YouTube or a website. Focus on one of those things. For both of those things, I would try and post at least once a week. And for both of those things, I would also put in a lot of time. For a website post, I would put maybe at least 10 hours a week into every post, and that's important. For example, when I first started filming these YouTube videos, each video would take about 20 hours, if not more, to do completely from start to finish, because I had to plan it out all in my head. I had to figure out all the equipment to how to record, and I was awful at editing, so I needed to take a long time to edit these videos. But really, and this might sound a little bit harsh, but you're no one right now. No one cares about the stuff you're making. You have to be so good the internet can't ignore you. Otherwise, sorry to say, but they will ignore you. Even if your first piece of content is the top 0.0000001% of content in the entire world, in the beginning, still no one will notice because they won't know where to go. They won't know this piece of content is the most amazing piece of content in the world. You need to build momentum. You need to build a backlog of content. You need to build trust on the internet. So build trust, build an audience, build some true fans, and then maybe you can think about getting paid from the internet. So finally, we're on to that section of the video where you can think about starting to get paid. And I think information is the best way to get paid. Selling information is scalable, rapidly deliverable, and can be unique to you. If Casey Neistat and Joe Schmo both released a PDF guide on how to start vlogging, who do you think I would buy the PDF guide from? I would 100% buy that PDF guide from Casey Neistat, right? Because I love Casey Neistat's vlog videos. I draw a ton of inspiration from him, and I would want to buy a PDF guide from him on how to vlog, not from Joe Schmo. I know and I trust him. The internet isn't going to start paying you until they know and trust you. Or maybe they will pay you if they don't know and trust you. But I think the best way to have a long relationship with your fans, the best way to have a long relationship with the internet and the world, and a good relationship where we're all making each other better people, right, is to kind of build this long, better relationship and provide good content. And then when you provide good content to real people, these real people who trust you will pay you back in some way. Maybe they'll buy something from you, or maybe they'll just watch your videos with ads in it. So I make most of my money right now from YouTube AdSense. And this is one of the ways you can get paid on the internet. This is the way I get paid mostly right now on the internet. YouTube AdSense isn't the end all be all for earning money on the internet though. But the amazing thing about YouTube, one of the reasons why I said if you're starting making something, I would put it on YouTube as one of my top choices, is because it's such a good platform to put yourself out there. As your audience grows, your followers grow, and your followers may follow you beyond YouTube. For example, from YouTube, I have tons of people that follow me. In descending order from the amount of people that follow me is my website, and then my Instagram, and then my newsletter. Quick plug for my newsletter. We're nearly at 3,000 people. And then my Twitter, and then my Facebook. But I don't really pay much attention to my Facebook. But what having these people follow you on the other place, I think does three things. The first thing I think it does is it lets you get paid more. The second thing it does is that if everything goes to crap on YouTube, then people can follow me to these other places. So it's kind of like a safety net. Having my website, having my email newsletter is a safety net if for some reason YouTube blows up. And the third reason is it gets your name out there a little bit more. Maybe someone didn't actually find me on YouTube and they found me on my website, which a lot of people said they Googled, like, for example, my MCAT study guides or like how to use flashcards, and kind of my website popped up. And then they saw my YouTube videos and then they subscribed to me on YouTube. So it's all kind of building these connections across the internet, because maybe not everyone is on YouTube, even though there are a lot of people on YouTube. But really, I'm thinking long term. A lot of seasoned YouTubers actually don't generate most of their income from YouTube AdSense. They generate it from other places on the internet. And this is an older video by now, but Ali Abdaal released his yearly income for 2020 and he made over $1 million, with only 20% of that being from YouTube AdSense. He made the rest of his money from his online course, sponsorships, and affiliate marketing. In one of my other videos, I talked about how much money I made on my first year on YouTube, and most of this is AdSense for now, but the income from other places is starting to rise. For example, I made $25K from AdSense, $10,000 from sponsorships, and $5,000 from affiliates. Like, that's getting up there. We're gonna get a little bit more into the nitty gritty now. So you've started posting your content consistently on the internet, whether that be on YouTube or a website, or if you're feeling crazy like Instagram or Twitter or something like that. So now you have an audience that knows and trusts you. Maybe you're not getting paid yet. So how do you start getting paid by your audience, by the internet? Well, the first thing, right, is ads. We all know advertisements. Those can pop up on your website or on YouTube, and that's the first way and kind of the main way that I make money on the internet. The next thing you can do is go the affiliate marketing route, and you can make an account on Amazon or a place called ClickBank. And what that does is every time someone clicks on one of your links and buys something after using your link, you'll make a certain percentage of that income. Amazon is really low, like 1 to 3%, or I don't know what the actual percentages are, but it's pretty low from when people buy your stuff using that link. But Amazon, everyone uses Amazon, so I get a good amount of money from that because just so many people use those links. And what I do is I have a resources page on my website, which has all my YouTube gear, and then when they buy something with that cash cookie or whatever, then I get a little bit of kickback. Also, I link kind of Epidemic Sound on all my YouTube videos because that's what the music I use, the music on this YouTube video for. So whenever someone like signs up using my Epidemic Sound link, I make money. Whenever someone signs up for a website hosting service using my website hosting service that I use, which is WP Engine, I make a little bit of money. So this all kind of adds up, especially if you build it from other places on the internet. An important thing here though, you should only put out affiliate links or sponsorships of content that you really like and actually use and that you think would help out the people that watch your videos, right? Because the whole reason people kind of started doing this in the first place, right, is because they trust and they like you and they like your videos. If you start kind of putting on sponsorships and start kind of putting in affiliate links just because you want to make a little bit of money and you don't actually use those things or you don't think they're good products, then that's a bad thing. And your audience will, I think, catch on slowly. That's why I'm really careful about the affiliate links I put out there and kind of the sponsors that I work with, because I only work with sponsorships and other people that I really like and care about. Okay, so advertisements, affiliate links. You can also do sponsorships, and you need to be a little bit bigger for this. And luckily, I have a talent agency that kind of does all of this for me, so I don't have to worry about any of that before. But it's kind of a pain in the butt because you have to work out legal contracts and what your rate is for a video and all that kind of stuff. Luckily, someone handles that for me, but in the beginning, I had to do that all on my own, and I did make a good amount of money from that. I still am making a good amount of money from that, but there's a couple legal things that come and get in the way. And finally, you can create or sell something on the internet, like a real product or a real piece of information. As I said, you could sell a piece of information, like if Casey Neistat came out with a vlogging PDF guide, I would buy it for sure. Or you can freelance your skills on Upwork if you do coding or editing or something like that. I think that's a great place to sell your services. You can sell information or a course. Ali Abdal's first round of his YouTuber course made something crazy like $300,000. I actually am planning to release my first ever course on my website very soon, and it's going to be kind of how to edit my videos, how I actually edit my videos, and I'm going to walk people through how I edit every single one of my videos. There's also going to be a course that I'm releasing, which is going to be, okay, I know how to edit the videos like Zach does, but how do I actually film the videos? How do I set up the microphones, the lighting, all that kind of stuff? So I'm going to be releasing that course soon because it's such kind of a good way. First of all, I think it provides a lot of value, right? Because a lot of people have been asking for this, and I think I can help people that are just starting, because I was just starting a year ago, right? And I think I have some good information that can help people who are just starting to kind of quickly ramp up their channel's production quality and also their editing quality. Or you can write an ebook or a real book. Like James Clear wrote the book Atomic Habits, which I'm sure we all know about, but he started off as just a blogger, and then he started blogging about habits, and people seemed to think, okay, this habit thing's pretty cool. And then he eventually took some of his blog posts and did a lot more research, obviously, in editing, and built it into this book, which has made him hugely more successful than he was before. Or you can do a subscription service, like a subscription website where only people can access a certain part of your website with a subscription. Or you can do a subscription email. Like Nat Eliason has this elite community, which you can only access if you pay a certain amount every month. And he was able to do this because he releases really cool articles. Link to him down below. He's not sponsoring the video or anything like that. I just love his stuff. Overall, I hope you found this kind of amalgamy. I should stop trying to use big words. I hope you found this random jumbling of facts helpful and start posting. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.